Hello, my friends. It's great to see you, and imagine the kind of day that people over at Xbox are having today. We're going to get into that, but first, a little thank you to our friends at Remedy who sent out something cool to celebrate Alan Wake 2. It is an actual Oh Dear Diner thermos. And today would be the perfect day. It's just right out of the box, doesn't have tea in it, but this would be a good day to spill some tea about what has been going on with Microsoft and Xbox. But thank you, Remedy. This is super cool. What a great collectible. I cannot wait to play Alan Wake 2 next month. Okay, let's get into what has been going on with Microsoft. A huge treasure trove of information was leaked as part of the ongoing discussions between the FTC and Microsoft over Xbox's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. The FTC is challenging Microsoft, and this has been going on in the courts for a long time. And my hats are off to the people at Verge. My first kind of notification about this was Tom Warren, who tweeted about this. He works over at The Verge, and he has reported well on this. And of course, it's all over the damn place. If you turned on the internet today, you saw this information. But all kinds of information came to light, and some of the big stuff. One, we kind of knew about this already, but Microsoft had made an attempt and had discussed the possibility of purchasing Nintendo, acquiring Nintendo. I mean, they've clearly had their sights set on massive companies, and Nintendo was one of them. Nintendo was in the sights, in the crosshairs of Phil Spencer. He wrote in an email that Nintendo is the prime asset for us in gaming, and also getting Nintendo would be a career moment, and I honestly believe a good move for both companies. And that is a shocking thing to read. Imagine having the balls to say, I want to acquire Nintendo. I mean, it might happen, and Nintendo might make the decision to become software only, but look at the success they've had with Nintendo Switch. It's just amazing. But clearly, Microsoft has taken big swings. I mean, a $70 billion deal for Activision Blizzard is not peanuts. They are serious about acquiring massive assets to bolster their gaming platform and Game Pass and all of that stuff. We all know this. Microsoft is gunning for the fences, but they're also banking on what they already own. They already own a console business with the Xbox, and leaks of new revisions for the Xbox Series X and Series S were in the documents. A potential new Series X is going to launch in 2024 that will be diskless and have 2 terabytes of storage and some new communication technology in there. A further revision of the Xbox Series S. They've just released the black version of that, but a new Xbox Series S will have better communication, a little bit more storage. And also, interestingly, there might be a new Xbox controller on the way that has some haptic feedback in it, I guess to square up against the PlayStation 5's excellent DualSense controller. And then there were also leaks about what Bethesda is going to be working on over the next little while. And out of those leaks, the most exciting thing for me is that Dishonored 3 might be a major title in 2024. I love Dishonored, love the first one. It was our game of the year when that first one came out. The second one is fantastic as well. I would really love to see Arcane go back to Dishonored and build us something wonderful there. Single player, don't go crazy with the multiplayer. Excited about that. Also excited to see that Fallout 3 and Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion are likely getting remasters, things that we could predict. And also a new Doom game. We could predict that one. It might be called Year Zero. We've got to learn more about that, but always excited about a new Doom game from id. And they were teasing Indiana Jones and other titles that they've got in the pipeline. This is from emails a couple of years ago, so everything is, up in the air, and who knows how much of this stuff comes true. Something else that was mentioned in these leaks is also something we could predict, is that there will likely be a new Xbox console around the 2028 timeframe, and that about lines up with when we see new console generations kind of take hold. So that wouldn't be a shock to see a new Xbox in 2028. The only thing that's really shocking about any of this information is as to how much has been revealed. These are things that Xbox and all of its partners and all of the developers that work on these things would love to kind of shepherd and reveal to us in special ways. And now there is this expectation on when this stuff is going to be announced, and how sheepishly everybody is going to be when they take the stage or walk in front of a camera for a video and talk about this as if we're supposed to be surprised by a lot of this stuff. Now, most of it is kind of straightforward and things that you would think, of course, they would be working on it. It's just a shame that this has all been revealed, but it speaks to the ongoing, very public discussions happening around Xbox's aggressive moves to become a substantial, enormous player in the video game space. And of course, everybody wants to throw Xbox versus PlayStation into the equation, and there's definitely an element there, and the history of those two major console juggernauts fighting against each other is, clear evidence, and you can point to that. But there's something new afoot here. Game Pass and the subscription model is clearly an answer to what Netflix has done, and now all of these other streamers and stakeholders with linear content streaming services. Xbox didn't get into that business, but they didn't want to see the gaming business go away. And they're also, I'm sure, looking at what Apple is doing, what Google is doing, what Amazon is doing, what Steam might be doing. And Steam is also potentially in the crosshairs for Xbox and Microsoft as well, which would be fascinating. And to my mind, also, there's a bit of an inevitability there as well. Like, Steam can only scale to so much. I wouldn't be shocked to see some kind of mega deal happen with Steam and Microsoft down the road, and Game Pass. But it is fascinating to read all of this stuff. It is fascinating to dig into it and to read these supposed private emails back and forth between leaders at the companies, and how so much of it is just kind of based on belief and an awareness of what's happening with market forces currently, but how much things change over even a year's time. Like, Baldur's Gate 3 was discussed as just a Stadia's second run RPG, like if they picked up Baldur's Gate 3, it wasn't that important, but look at how important Baldur's Gate 3 has become to the gaming industry in 2023. So there's definitely some hubris in some of this correspondence and some of these decisions and ideas that are being flouted. But, there's also this kind of hopeful aggressiveness as well. Like, we are buying into something really, really big, and the world is excited for it, and we can scale up and grow and reach more people. And that has always been Microsoft's message with Game Pass. So this is going to throw some monkey wrenches into a bunch of people's lives. But again, I don't think there are too many shockers in this. The best shocker is that we're getting more Dishonored. I think that's fantastic, and I can't wait. But you know what? I want to hear from you guys. What did you think reading through this and reading all the tweets? And, I'm sure you've watched a few videos already on YouTube of people kind of disseminating all this information. But let me know what you thought in the comments below. Is this going to be a major stumbling block for Microsoft and Xbox, or are they going to be okay? Let me know your thoughts. And thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button and that little thumbs up, and we'll see you soon. Until then, play forever.